It's a border bargain, and everything must go. President Biden's trying to pull a fast one on the incoming Trump administration with a border wall fire sale. He's scrambling to auction off thousands of unused sections for scrap metal prices. That's right, these wall parts, bought with your tax dollars, have been collecting dust in the desert ever since Biden declared he wouldn't build another foot of wall. And now, Joe's practically giving them away, with opening bids as low as $5 for 20 tons of steel bollards on a website littered with listings. I bet Hunter's already speed dialing a Ukrainian buyer for the old man. Thankfully, Joe's days of sabotage at the border are almost over. Tom Homan says he'll put an end to the fire sale.
After the inauguration, we're going to stop it. But it's shocking to me that, and I saw several articles today and actually an ad, they're selling these things pennies on the dollar of what the taxpayers paid for. Yeah. So there, again, here's an example of them just trying to put us in a bad position and not have that equipment available to us.
Speaking of Homan, the incoming border czar just had a successful meeting with New York City Mayor Eric Adams, with Adams reportedly eyeing an executive order to unravel his sanctuary city policy. Watch.
I saw the cop in him, and he has promised to work with us to target violent, criminal, illegal aliens in this city. We're talking about having agents assigned in the precincts rather than release them straight to the street on this bail reform law, give them to my agents to take care of. So we promised to put our two staffs together and work out the details, but as of yesterday, he's all in. And he's willing to take the hits from the left to do it, because it's the right thing to do. He's putting public safety over politics.
All right, so they're selling the wall for scrap, Martha, and I can't tell if Biden is trying to stick it to Donald Trump, or because he realizes he's sticking it to the taxpayer.
Totally. I mean, this is the same thing that happened on the way in. Remember, they just halted construction and they left all the stuff out there. It was rotting in the desert. Those are your pieces of steel, and your pieces of steel, and your pieces of steel, and your pieces of steel. This is what should be happening. Talk about Doge. Where are the Doge people? Like, what should we do? Let's figure out the most efficient way to maintain this product so that when Trump comes in and wants to build the wall, it will be all ready to go. That's what a logical person who's running an efficient operation would do. This is preposterous.
Tyrus, have you put a bid on
Hold on,
some
because
steel?
I wanted to consult your financial team, because there's a good chance that we could buy these and then sell wall pieces on Amazon back to incoming administration. Now, that is capitalism, albeit disgusting.
I'll talk to my team about that.
Get back to me. It'll be a joint venture.
Okay.
But again, I have a lot of problems with this story. First of all, there was a lot of fake news in the front of it. I believe Biden racing to sell. Racing. So that's a bit much, media. He doesn't even race to the bathroom anymore. Let's stop. I don't think he knows anything about this. I don't think there's a cue card that he's reading from. I think he has quietly gone back to the basement. We don't see any wordage for everything that President Trump and his team is doing. The more they're advancing, the more meetings they had. Typically, this would have been a big problem. The media have been all over it, and Biden's been pretty silent on that. I don't think he's not saying anything on that to focus on selling this metal. I think this is the last of the secret progressive moves. I don't think this is a Biden thing. I think this is an administration thing. And as soon as they get out, again, we'll sell, dimes on dollars.
Tyrus and I are going into business together.
Yes.
Could be a terrible idea. Could be the best thing we've ever done.
We don't know.
We don't know. We'll let you know in the new year. Jessica, it seems like Donald Trump's fractured the Democratic Party. Some Democrats are cooperating. Some Democrats are getting ready to sabotage. What do you think that means for the party in the new year?
I haven't actually seen anyone trying to sabotage, and President Biden isn't with this.
Well, I mean, this is kind of a sabotage, and some of the people that are saying, we're not going to let you deport, that's sabotage.
So the story of what's actually going on, according to Donald Trump's superfan, Lieutenant Governor Dan Patrick of Texas, is that these materials are not worth anything. They're junk. So the Texas Facilities Commission inspected everything. Oh, get his face.
It's junk? So it's cheaper for Tyrus and I to buy.
Yes,
I'm happy to help your business.
Auction it off. It's junk because it was rotting in the desert for 4 years.
Yeah, maybe that's why.
Whatever you want to say, the point is that this material is not worth the cost of shipping it from Arizona to Texas, and they don't want it. So this isn't about President Biden or lefties out there trying to sabotage Donald Trump on his way in. This is about the fact that this is junk and it's not worth it. So Trump will he'll get congressional approval for more border supplies. He'll build hopefully more than the 52 miles, which is all he was able to get done.
Not true.
500 miles where 450 of them were just repairing existing walls already.
No,
it was
that's
52
not
miles
true.
of new wall.
That's not true.
You
know better than anybody that that's not true.
She built
It's not
the wall?
true.
That's been debunked.
In this outfit?
It's not true.
You've
I
been
could
debunked.
have.
She could, though.
I could dismantle it and rebuild it. But this is proof that Biden and Kamala Harris do not speak, because in her campaign ads, she was bragging about that border wall. She had pictures of it. She said she's a border state prosecutor who locked people up. And she was all in for Trump's border wall. Now, I think dismantling it and selling it is a metaphor for the end of the Biden presidency. It's broken, they're in bits and pieces, it's cheap. I think the thing that they should be noting is that in every airport that I've been in, the Biden books, the Harris Waltz t-shirts, those are 80% off. You can get those and a piece of the wall. Trump doesn't need this. He's got a mandate from the American people to make us feel safer, more affordable. He's going to build a wall, and more importantly than that, he's going to generously resource and deeply respect Border Patrol, police, law enforcement everywhere. That is part of how he won. I think defund the police was one of the dumbest things that was ever said by the Democratic Party, and now I think people are going to defund the elites.
We have some sound from Tom Homan. Let's listen to that.
They can sit back and watch us, which I find incredible. You don't want to take public safety threats out of your community and help us, but there are laws on the books that we will prosecute. I've arrested U.S. citizens for harboring an alien in their home or place of employment. If I can do it to a citizen, why can't I do it to a politician who's going to actively get in our way, prevent us from doing our job?
Some of these Democrats might want to be arrested by the Trump administration, might make him a martyr.
Yeah, he walked that back a little bit on the story about an hour ago. He said maybe prosecute is the wrong word. That's not really my department. That'll be coming from the Department of Justice. But he said there are laws on the books that if mayors stand in our way when we go in to deport criminals or to deport people who are already on the list, 1.4 million who are already on the deportation list, that they should not stand in our way. I couldn't understand what Mayor Johnson's response was to all of this. He came out and, was responding to Tom Homan. It didn't make a whole lot of sense from what I heard. But I think that the future is what we saw between Mayor Adams and Tom Homan. I think that's what people voted for. I think they want common sense. They want two intelligent people, a former police officer and a man who spent 20-something years overseeing ICE and border, to sit down and make people safe. And that, I give Eric Adams credit. He's like, that's my job, to keep the people of New York City safe. Brandon Johnson needs to figure that out, or he probably won't be mayor that much longer.
And Tyrus, if some guy, a bad hombre, maybe we'll say, face tattoos all over, and some Democrat mayors throwing themselves in front of this guy, some gangbanger, when Tom's trying to just take him and put him on a plane home, that's going to look insane.
I think here's the thing. The problem with martyrdom is you have to have a base that's going to be like, no, please let tattooed face hombres stay. I don't think it's not martyrdom, it's dum-dum.
Yeah. So
you're going to go to jail for the picture op and then sitting there with all your constituents going, we voted for that guy? This is there's no debate on this. We just want safe streets. American criminals, and even bigger, we want the ones who aren't even supposed to be here committing crimes out. So I think that's what this all comes down to. Safe streets for everybody, regardless of citizenship or not.
It was here in New York where it all got broken open, because this is the place where people turned on Fox News, opened up their phones, and saw illegals getting cash, debit cards, clothing, hotel rooms in New York City, and the greatest affront, your kid's desk in a New York City classroom. They said, this isn't fair. In fact, it's outrageous. But it was really here in New York City where the rest of the country saw that happening. Before that, illegal immigration, you could say, well, that's about people. Oh, no. Border security and people getting things that the mom who wants to take a couple kids to the Rockettes but has to drive 4 hours home because she can't afford to stay in the New York City hotel room. Thank you, Bidenomics. She can't afford a new blouse for herself. She can't upgrade her phone. She can't have a little extra cash to put away for a rainy day or do something on a sunny day with the kids. That made a lot of Americans change their mind on this issue and know that it was impacting them directly. I hope that Eric Adams spurs 2, 3, 4 other mayors of blue cities to say, you know what, it's my job to keep us safe. And Homan makes an important point. He said it is a violation of federal law to harbor an illegal alien. That's what these cities are doing. So go ahead and bring in, before you bring in the police to deport, you can bring in the actual federal law and saying you've been violating it every single day.
Is that good politics for the Democrats to do, Jessica?
Well, I think, and we talked about this when we had the sound of Michelle Wu, the mayor of Boston, who said, I'm not going to cooperate at all. I think the solution is simple. Whether you have to make an official carve out of sanctuary city policy or just do it, hand over all the undocumented criminals and say, there you go. These aren't New Yorkers. These aren't Bostonians. And then the real fight will be waged if they then start they send the deportation force for people who are not here. They're here illegally. Yes, before you tweet at me, I know they broke the law at first, but they're not breaking the law every day when they go and work hard at their jobs. And some of them with kids who are Americans and were born here. So
everybody with a face tattoo that's here illegally leaves, right? We'll start with the face tattoos.
It's not my aesthetic. I don't want to discriminate.
But to be clear, not hand tattoos.
No one's going near you.
Very demure.
Undocumented, hold on, undocumented, does that include people who have driver's licenses? Because that's a very important document in my life.
Well, no, I'm talking about people who are committing violent
licenses.
But that's not committing a violent crime here. I'm talking about people that actually. I was just saying that I am aware that we actually have a border and that if you crossed it illegally, that was a violation of it. How you live your life once you're here is distinguishing. If you come here and you're committing crimes, which is not getting a driver's license that wherever you live might legally entitle you to do so.
Just so we're clear, I wasn't saying having a driver's license is a crime, but when I hear undocumented immigrants and they have a very important document, driver's licenses like they give out in my home state of New Jersey, that's problematic. Nobody said that's committing a crime, but I think many people in your team are trying to scare Abuela and people who have been here for many years who don't qualify under what Tom Homan is talking about.
Don't you dare scare Abuela.
Trump with Kristen Welker
We do have to go.
said that we'll send them all home together.
It's enough scaring Abuela. Okay?
I'm
and
sorry
that's
about
grandmother.
That was about criminals
That's
and
grandmother,
about the
Jessica.
1.4 who had
We're
We're
already
getting rid
undocumented
of the
list.
face tattoos first. Let's just agree on that.
Fine.
Click here to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page to catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You won't get it anywhere else.